Good morning, everybody. Slide says, intro thing, it's a quiet morning. And maybe in remembrance of October 7th, that terrible day a year ago, maybe it should be quiet. And so looking at the markets, not too much movement, a little downside action here, inside days. So I looked around, and it's clear that the markets are building a consolidation. And because of the prior strength, we assume, just looking at the futures here to start, we assume it's going to break out to the upside. News this morning, part of the news was Goldman Sachs upped their target, so more bullish sentiment, bias. Take a quick look at that. It's worked itself off a bit, which is a good thing. Total put-call ratio, equity put-call ratio, coming off of that high level, and the market's held up really, really well. I mean, they kind of drifted down. We had the news last week as it drifted down. And, even in light of these, look at these interest rates moving up here. So typically we would see, or the reaction would be a negative one to these interest rates starting to move up as they did, which raises the question, is it just complacency? Or is it just, underlying is just so bullish that the markets don't care about interest rates anymore to the degree that they did? But anybody looking, whatever the talking heads are saying, half a point is off the table. Now it's a quarter point. Who thinks that's good? Who doesn't? Who cares? We look at the charts and we see a little W bottom here and a push up. So there's definitely a belief based on looking at this chart that they're not going to do a half. And we'll continue to monitor this on a day-to-day basis, because if it starts to move up as this pattern suggests it will, and more economic news comes out this week suggesting strength, maybe they're not going to do anything, but we'll see. I don't know how the market reacts to that. As always, we'll see what the reaction is to the news. The 10-year really, really pushed up above these pivots, which turns the trend up. And you might say, well, how could that be, Greg, with these moving averages pointing down? Well, you know what? We all get to make our own rules. And one of my rules is if something is in a downtrend and it takes out two or more pivot highs on a strong push like that, my bias goes to the trend being up. I think for me, that just sounds like common sense. And with any movement, it's like, well, up to where? Well, up to resistance, which I believe this will continue to move up. And how the market reacts to that, we'll just have to see. So far, that reaction has been muted, not doing anything. We'll see how the day progresses. So this is one, I believe, a negative for the markets. Another potential negative, and this is related to the Middle East, but spike up in oil, gasoline. Price of gasoline went up, which usually does when the price of oil goes up. And this is nearing resistance, so it's likely to stall. And you can see a little reaction as it gets close to that area there. But look at that weekly chart. And a couple of weeks ago, as we always do, we look at multiple time frames, and this was coming down to this long-term support, which created a belief bias that buyers would be down here. It's just black and white, what we always think. Something goes from resistance to support, there's going to be buyers there. How many? Who knows? Look at the chart. What's the reaction? So at that point, the commentary then was like, okay, can this form a W bottom? Momentum move down. It looks kind of climactic or semi-climactic. It gets far from the 20 MA into an area of long-term support. There's going to be buyers there. There was a wide range bar. And then on the retest, it flips right back up again. Middle East, whatever the news is of the day, technically it said that, this should at a minimum stabilize there, and then the news accelerates this up. So As it gets here, we expect it to stall. We'll see how much it stalls. All right. Well, you see things are down here a little bit. Just taking a quick look. Inside day, not a big deal. It took out this resistance. The Dow chopping sideways. There was a rejection here, but it hasn't followed through and it flipped back up. So, just consolidating in a whippy, erratic manner, spreading that out. It's just, this is the picture of a mess. Right? So you print out, charts and say, okay, here's a setup for whatever reason. You mark it up bar by bar. Why it's good or bad. Well, you can print this one out and just write, stay the hell away. And another chart just consolidating the prior move and it drifting down. And so, whether it's the Russell, similarly, the regional banks, drifting down, they're not, just no patterns here, to act on as far as broader markets go and these sectors as they consolidate the gains. Kind of makes it a little boring, but, recognizing this and, of course, accepting it will keep you out of what I call the frog in the blender, just getting chopped to death. All right, so SPY gapping down a bit, recovering a little bit inside Friday's bar. There was that recovery after the sell-off. I remember the gap up, and then it was like, interest rates going up, things sell off into support, buyers step up again, and they pushed it higher. And so now, you can see this clear trading range. At some point, maybe it's tomorrow or whatever it's going to be. And right now, it's just marking time. And so, we assume it will break out, and we assume that because the trend is up. If it breaks below here, obviously something's wrong. And the length of this consolidation, while we look at where the next level is, which as you can see my cursor on the 65-minute chart, it's unlikely it's going to hold there if it breaks under the first one because of the length of this sideways move and the prior move up. Going under here would be a clear signal of disappointment, of bullish price action failing, excuse me, and prices that likely go down. And anytime we say prices are going to go up or they're going to go down, the next thought should be down to where? And is there a void? So if it breaks below here, something has gone wrong, whatever that might be. We'll find out at the time if it happens. But if it does, momentum moves are the weakest part of the chart because there's no support. So obviously we'll continue to monitor and see what happens. Right now, nothing's happening. So SPX is moved. This is exactly where it was on Friday. And so that hasn't really moved. This came down. Wait a minute, that doesn't look right to me. Yeah. Didn't save when I typed it in. So that's come way down. Let me just double check this. And all that big open interest that we reviewed on Friday, all of that expired worthless. The 655. Come down a titch. So when you look at some of these numbers, like open interest and the trades that are out there, it's amazing to think the amount of money that is out there and, betting on one thing or another. And it's like, that money evaporating. It's like, I don't know what they're looking at, but you would think if they would just look at a chart and a trend and what's going on, would it save them from that? Anyway, all right. Two more. I'll pan it over to Dan. Transports are just a giant mess here. Top of the range, big down bar last week. And one of my comments on Friday was if this economy is what they say, and who knows with the numbers, why aren't the transports going up? Because if things are great, companies that are moving goods, services, information would do better, and they're not. So, and we'll see how it unfolds as it does. Bitcoin, marking time, not doing anything. Um, I think the big thing to keep an eye on, or where the opportunity is semiconductors. There's a lot of these hook type patterns. And so they're preceded by a momentum move. And this one took out the high. So these underperformers, right? This was underperforming relative to others and pull back like this, support and move higher. And on the weekly chart, we've got this consolidation, about a bottoming tail bar, little correction kind of bar. So this is definitely a sector to keep an eye on to see how they hold up here. And if the markets get moving, they should, I think, have a lot of potential to move up. But we're just waiting to see if things can get going here. And that's really just the bottom line. Gold still looks amazing. Whenever it just jiggles around here, it's just more of a mess. It's in an uptrend. It's stalled for the moment on the weekly time frame. It's consolidating. That's more or less a bullish consolidation. So that looks good. And silver, just more of the same. So here's another one that we need to see. If markets are going to move up, the financials, which have been consolidating here after that move up, they're not doing anything but set an alert here. They should break out. So, looking at different markets, semiconductors, financials, regional banks, set some alerts, see what stocks are showing relative strength or weakness. And, we'll see, even like the Russell, does it start moving up? I've got an alert up here. Here's I got a minute or two here. Mid caps are holding up really nicely, but consolidating, whipping around. And so all of these charts, not all, but many of them, are bullish because of what preceded it in September. They're marking time. It is what it is, and we wait. I mean, that's the bottom line, and yeah, I mean, even like biotechs, which I thought I was kind of hopeful, where they got up here that they would consolidate. No, they came back down. And so there's plenty of things that are correcting. Consumer staples, healthcare. So kind of a mixed bag. And one of my comments in this week's letter was, I think going into this week, it's a kind of a coin flip as to which way things are going to go. And as we look at the charts here, nothing has obviously changed just on the market's opening. So we'll wait it out, see what happens, stay out of the mess. And yeah, that's it. All yours, Dan.
Well, I actually like the gap down, so we don't have to be in a rush for longs. Got to manage the opens, of course. Yeah, Greg, I didn't see that Goldman market upgrade. I really haven't checked the news much. I thought maybe this was just war gap down, but yeah, still range bound. Let me look at alarms like always. First, Uber buy setup. I had an alarm go off, but now it's coming in, so I just reset it. RTX military looks great. Put that in the window. Nice It's not a 1, 2, 3 because those are not inside bars, but it's still three bullish bars after a WRB breakout. So that's a tier one setup. Looks great. Berkshire alarm went off. Let's wait for a pullback on that. At 15, I can get us a better entry, but that up alarm went off. Relative strength, gapping up in a weak market. I always look at the Dow 30. And there's 5 stocks that are green, but they're all under $1. It's nothing. So nothing going on there. ESTC alarm, bottoming pattern, gapping up. To watch that on a pullback. Sherwin gapping down. We have an open call spread. So let's tighten the stop over that 15-minute pivot and then 30-minute high. Let me reset my alarms. 361. Oh, midder alarm just went off. See this? I see one print here. Let me look at a level 2. This was a nice wide range breakout, daily, weekly, monthly. So yeah, there's not much volume. So I said hold off because I saw this low print. Because in the letter I said let's buy a pullback to 465. But if it's gapping down to 455 or 3, then I don't want it because then it's gapping under an ugly bar. So that's why I just sent a telegram to hold off. All right, those are all my alarms. AMD, we shorted puts on SMH, the sector, but this one's relative strength. This one's cleared the pivot high. This Wednesday, we're going to be talking about relative strength. And you just see how no-brainer that is. This couldn't bounce as much. And AMD is over its prior pivot. And this one's not. And this one's gapping down. AMD gapping up. So this relative strong one. NVIDIA, range bound, nothing to do. All right, let's just go to my interest list here. I don't have any earnings. Wow, look at this volume on these monster bars. Hey, Don, this might be our gap and crap day for a day trade and call spread, maybe. Delta Tango gapping up. Sloppy but bullish. Alt M 426, gap's too big. AMD, we talked about Pfizer. What do you call them? Advocate group taking a stake in them. So that's similar to Buffett announcing, but these are big firms doing it. Visto, I don't know what the news is, but that's a big old bullish cap up. Napa, wow, that might be a buyout. When things go flatline like that pre-market with a monster gap, the thing's gapping up 100% and going sideways. So with 98% confidence, that tells me it's a buyout. Shrek, what? There's some crazy gappers here. Wow. I think this thing split. This might have been the thing that I think was $1,000. What the heck caused that gap up today? Man, could you imagine if you were short the pain that you're feeling today? AMED, we had a nice short last week, and it's still bearish consolidation here. So that trades trades weird intraday, but it's a sell setup. Watch Amazon, I think, got a downgrade, but if it's able to recover, then it's a buy setup. But it's gapping under Friday's low, which is bearish. There's an article about Google being under pressure a little for competitors coming after them, their ad business. Block, little buy setup. Let's see how that plays out. Abbott. Why am I watching you? I think it might have been in Barron's because the pattern's not jumping out at me. I mean, if it takes out Friday's low, then it could be a short to the 200. But over Thursday's high, it could be a W retest. Oracle, bullish Friday's high. A coin. See, this is a tough one. It's a put spread watch, but you also got a sell setup with a 180 on the weekly. So I wouldn't rush into it, but maybe 30-minute high. RMD, it's at this prior low. Ideally, you get a inside bar and then short a 1, 2, 3 on tomorrow. Lima Whiskey. This is what I call a bear gap that bullies on earnings. It's a bearish gap that fills the gap within the first half hour. And then it was actually a 1, 2, 3 on Friday. So I want to see if we can get an answer, an entry. Charlie Echo, it shows it down, but I don't see any prints. But otherwise, we call this a continuation of a buy setup. Because a buy setup is over Thursday's high, but it gapped over it. XLP, on bounces, we should be looking to short that. XLB is a buy setup. MIG, it did 100% retracement. It's just bobbling around. I have an alarm at 37.90. I like the bottoming pattern on the monthly. Mr. Put spread idea. Nice big move. 8 bottoming pattern. Uber we talked about. Siri looks like a short. That looks good. If this thing can't bounce, 10 a.m. looks like a great short. Siri. SERV alarm just went off. Yeah, Don. Yeah, I've been watching this hurricane track all weekend. I actually have a flight to get the heck out of Dodge tomorrow afternoon if it worsens. But no, we'll still get the band. So not out of the woods, but yeah, we're out of the cone. All right, RPD buy setup with a 180. Nitra be a breakout, kind of a bear sandwich. IART, I like that it's gapping up because then under last week's lows are short. G is a breakout over Friday's high. AUR, so it's a sloppy buy setup. It's deep. You don't want buy setups to retrace 100% to the breakout area. You got kind of these overlapping bars. There's going to be hourly resistance, but I got an alarm XLF I like. KCE, nice breakout. All time frames. Let me alerts an ACGL alarm. All right, did I give this one official? I forget. Or was I waiting for a 1, 2, 3? Google up alarm, so it negated it. All right, ACGL. I guess I was waiting for 1, 2, 3 because I don't see it, but it looks great on a pullback. So now it's gapping over the WRB. I can put that in a window and watch it pull back. So I had an alarm on Google. Look, it just popped here the last couple of minutes. So that 30-minute high, this looks great. Let's let it bobble around for a while. It's range bound here on the 15. If it can bobble around and show relative strength to the market, if the cues are weak, then that I like. Jaqua, a breakout watch. TPH, I think this was Sam. I prefer a 1, 2, 3 to short. If there was no premium for a call spread, there was no premium for a put spread trip. ESTC, that's gapping over our entry. DRI, I like buy setup. So again, a deeper tracement shouldn't have come this far, but we got our turn on Friday with the gap and bullish close. So over Friday's high, I like DRI. Uber alarm just went off again. The Uber looks good. I have as a put spread idea. Not great. I just a little unsure of the swing because this is not fluid, but I like it. I like it as a put spread. Right, a med alarm, 30-minute low, short watch, HCA, 30-minute low, short watch. GoDaddy up alarm. We did a put spread on Friday. All right, HCA. I'm going to set a new alarm at 392. Block up alarm. So Monday mornings are my absolute busiest of the whole week because I got open trades, I got new trades, I got watches. But actually it's manageable so far, the amount of alerts going on. Wow, look at our GoDaddy. That was nice put spread. I mean, sometimes on Mondays, when it's not, you know, depending on the gap, I could have freaking 20 alarms going on. Man, this is still showing me having an open loss on my put spread. Why is that done? Why is TOS showing me an open loss? I'm gonna try to bid 20 cents to get out. The answer is stupid ass spreads. AD line negative 1,000. And a tick almost negative 800. All right, BHC. Okay, that was a low alarm. We bought half lot on the breakout. All right, HCA, Siri. Siri looks great as a short. Let's short a 5-minute low. Stop Friday's high to start. That's a beautiful 15-minute. Actually, it already triggered. I can short it right now. 252. Seating. Okay. Later. Yeah, Sherwin, we have that we should be at target. Sherwin. I said bid a dime. Let me see where it's at. 235. Wait, that makes no sense. No, I was looking at SMH, my bad. All right, Sherwin 390, 400. Yeah, 0 by 75. So yeah, you should be able to get out. Yeah, Don, I like when things are counter, like DRI. I love them because then they have to show relative strength to trigger. Yeah, so it ain't gonna trigger, so no harm. SMH up alarm. So it clawed its way back a little bit.
Yeah, did you see Amazon gap below that bottoming tail bar?
Yeah, it got a downgrade, yeah. And that's I was saying if it were able to somehow claw its way back, but yeah, I wasn't thinking short.
Yeah, call spread me.
Uh,
The ANF got an upgrade today, by the way.
I
That
thought it
looks like it could be a breakout, or maybe a 1, 2, 3.
Well, we're in a put spread, and I gave it sent a weekend letter over the high. But why is um,
Apple got a downgrade. Let's see if that breaks these lows.
all right? Nice Siri. Alex, that came from you. ANF. Yeah, we have a put spread, and yeah, 1, 2, 3 obviously would be ideal. SMH is coming back very nicely. I mentioned
Mhm.
AMD, but no entry here. NVIDIA's ripping. That's helping. Wow, look at Netflix tanking on the 15.
Mhm.
Wow. And yeah, Amazon, that's a small little Bear Island reversal, sure. Wow, yeah, there's some crazy moves here, up and down. All right, no, MU. All right, so Berkshire. Berkshire is 462, so over spot 34.
Oracle.
It's already in the letter. My
Yeah,
alarm didn't go off.
I think it's going to. Sure looks like it better, or it should.
Mhm. All right, thanks, Don. Yeah, I was bidding 20. I'm, I'm busy like every Monday, so one by one is all I can do. Yeah, HCA looks nice. I'd say 30-minute low short. I wish that 50 wasn't there. I looked for call spread and there was no, I think I could see there no juice or spreading if you're doing. All right, so yeah, ANF, Oracle. That looks like it triggered 170.90. Yeah, so I don't see my alarm. Ah, you know why? It's because I added this one after and didn't add it to my big computer. That's why. 170.91. So yeah, it did trigger. That explains it. And there was no juice for a put spread. Cool. So one's yeah, we're yeah, I got an alarm for long. We're already in a naked puts, I think. But yeah, it's on the list. Yeah, that looks good, John. Bottoming pattern 1, 2, 3. I like it. It's a sell setup on the weekly, but I'm okay with it for a bottoming pattern bounce. It's a nice 1, 2, 3.
Hmm.
EX, I don't see EX.
I didn't see last week. SMCI was split 10 for 1.
Yeah, we were watching it the day after BX. But BX I like even better now over Friday's high. That looks great because then you got yourself a little downside shakeout. ACGL cancel. EXAS alarm.
China up again, Dan.
Oh, look at Tiger. TIGRs. Insane. Wait, ACGL. I don't see it in my. So ACGL. All right, I don't see it in the pending. Hmm. All right, EXAS is triggering. This one we were shorting 65.60, but it looks like a directional too. We're not going to get the premium. It's 50 cents. I wanted 70. This looks okay. Directional. Yeah, well, it'll turn one of these days, but not today. Greg, look at Tiger here in the volume. Insane.
Well, definitely could be an exhaustion gap with that wide range bar that preceded it.
Well, I mentioned that to Don to keep an eye on it for us. Yeah. Wow, the premiums. Oh, there's no weeklies, but and the $25 calls, 11 DTE or 60 cents. You could get a you can get $1 for the 22s. These things are so jacked. All right, so Uber was a put spread. So this pullback, we should be filled now. See, Don, I do that on purpose. Like I know I'm only going to get filled on the pullback. So 74.68 or 70. 70. Wow, these are jacked. Wow. Is this thing on earnings? Why is Uber jacked so much? Holy cow. 70. Oh, did I give the wrong strikes? 74. Yeah, I did. Because that's way too tight. Yeah, we want to do the 72s. That's what I did wrong. All right, let me fix this right away. Shoot. Yeah, that was a typo. 72. Yeah, I messed that one up, that's for sure.
Mhm. Things are kind of a mess as they were pre-market, but semiconductors that ripped up now they're almost back down to the low of the day. They'll be there any minute.
Sounds like my neighbor above me is remodeling his bathroom. Horrible banging started today. Remember this team I shorted naked puts myself on Friday? I'm watching it for a pullback to oh, Mitter. Okay, Mitter did not gap down. Okay, so Mitter is still a go.
Did you do that?
Because remember I talked this morning, I thought I had an alarm go off under yesterday's low, in which case I would not want it.
ARE dropping. Looks like we're gonna luck out on this hurricane, Dan, other than the rain. And
I sure hope so.
I know it's still far off. But so far, so good.
Mhm.
I haven't looked at old DJT. It's looking better. Yeah. Last week we discussed the maybe that move down was an exhaustion move and it accelerated like that. And now it's retraced, about 90% back to that major resistance. So, yeah, my charts are up, by the way, if anybody wants to switch back and forth or look, I have it up there. Yeah.
Yeah, DJT looks better. Sure. You can enable 30-minute high. He must. He must up alarm. We're long that. New alarm 210, 207.50. RTX is a go as posted. They're triggered. So Greg, the weather was not even that clear to me. Even though since we're out of the cone, what
Mm.
kind of winds speeds are they predicting for us?
That I didn't see. They
Yeah,
said the
I didn't
center of
either.
the storm was like 125, 130.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. They didn't tell us.
They're mostly focused on Tampa Bay area,
No, I
primarily.
know,
Yeah.
but our local news should tell us. That's
Yeah. If it shifts a little south, believe me, it'll start yakking.
Is the office manager calm?
Not even paying attention, or I know she's aware of it, but
I spoke to three separate girls yesterday, one in person, two in text. They had no clue about the storm that lived here, lived here. They had no clue about the storm. And I'm like, what? Like, seriously, what world do you live in? Not, not to know about it.
they're more interested in you, Dan.
All right, let's already sell a third of this. We had a nice move here. And then I'll look at what you all got for me. Hold on. HCC. Not bad, but up 3 days and the market's not giving us a great direction. Microsoft, yeah, it's relative weakness, but it's down 5 days. I would like it better, if it had a correction bar, some more evidence of it trying to move up. IR, not bad, but up a lot. I'm just not rushing into things. Micron. No, we're still not in it, but nothing to do now. AD line's still under 1,000, so that's a red flag. I'm not crazy about it at this, all this resistance, but I do like the weekly. I like the 15, so it should move up. What's XLF doing? It's weaker than that.
Thinking not much is going to happen today, but maybe things are setting up. Maybe there'll be a lot of 1, 2, 3s. XLF trading inside. If that was to close like that and trigger tomorrow, could be really good. American Express. Wells Fargo.
Yeah, yeah. XP looks great. 102.76. Looks let's cancel.